It's all about me.
This is the Dan Patrick Show podcast.
There is more where that came from.
Click back for new episodes all week long. Broadcasting from the Mercedes Man Cave, this is the Dan Patrick Show.
It's hour 2 in New York City. Dan and the Danettes, Dan Patrick Show. Big movie premiere. And we're on the will call.
Yes.
Yeah, we got a will call window tonight. Me and the Danettes. Paulie said it's the won't call. We're worried that we're going to show up and our names won't be there.
Your names will be there.
Yeah. Reggie Miller and C. Webb joining us here. The movie tonight, now it's released nationally on Friday. And Uncle Drew with Reggie, C. Webb, Kyrie, Shaq, Nate Robinson, and Lisa Leslie. And the world premiere tonight here in New York City. We were just talking before we came back on about James Harden. And I joke about it. I would have music every arena he went into. I'd Walking on Sunshine and Traveling Man. And
These boots are made for walking.
Yeah.
Yes.
Take a walk on the wild side.
Yes.
Okay. You guys have talked about it. Now, what did the league do league-wide about James Harden? And is there traveling with that signature move that he has, that step-back move?
Yeah. Most of the time he steps back is traveling. Okay. Sometimes he step back isn't traveling. Okay. He does have the best Euro step, which I think confuses everything because he and Ginobili are the best Euro steps that we've seen. But they sent out a tape saying that this is not traveling.
It is not a travel.
And we were surprised, but, I guess they claimed the territory early. We can't make him change it. He's a great player. Get used to this new move.
So the league was probably tired of hearing from everybody.
Everyone was probably complaining because it does, and in my opinion, I don't mind the step back, but it's the bunny hop after the step back. Yeah. To me, you're gaining an unfair advantage. Yeah. To me, that's traveling.
Did you guys know how good he was in Oklahoma City?
Dan, I think that's when I started to really get my chops as a commentator because I didn't realize why the whole world was mad at me because I guess I was being politically incorrect saying OKC is making the dumbest move ever. They should not do this. This guy leads. He was leading the league in assists in the fourth quarter, and he was coming off the bench being the sixth man. So I can't say I knew he was MVP status, but I knew he was somebody that you do not trade from these two players because with Westbrook and Durant, he was like the equalizer. He kept everybody involved. He wasn't trying to score too much. He would keep Westbrook involved, keep the ball out of Westbrook's hands at the time, and he would hook Durant up. So, yeah, I knew it was I thought it was one of the most terrible moves ever. And it was for Andrew Bynum. It was to get Perkins for Andrew Bynum. That's all I kept saying. You guys are making a move for Andrew Bynum as if he's Shaq and you got to worry about him. So, that was dumb, and they're going to continue to regret that whether Westbrook stays or not. That's going to haunt them.
But
forever.
If you look back, if Oklahoma City had kept James Harden and let Westbrook go, would Durant still be in Oklahoma City?
No, they didn't have to let Westbrook go.
Well, I think you did just for the Westbrook dominates the ball.
No. But they all love playing together. See, remember, Harden did not want to take that leadership role, if we remember, whether it was Kevin McHale saying it or other players saying it. He was happy in that role of coming off the bench. That's why I was like, you have to keep it, and you see their relationship. So I don't think it was one or the other. Now, if you would have kept him, personalities, maybe.
I don't know if he would have grown, though, he was always a gifted scorer, right. But would he have become what he has now?
No, he wouldn't. But,
I don't think.
But you're saying that so Durant liked playing with Westbrook.
He liked playing with Harden.
Oh, okay. Well, that's what I'm saying. that if I keep Harden, then I keep Durant.
But if you keep Harden, both of them would have been happy because you have a guy that balances them out in the middle.
Yeah.
Has there ever been a franchise or a team that's had 3 MVPs? Think about this. Kevin Durant won MVP. Obviously, Westbrook last year was MVP. And then this year, Harden wins it. This was a team that went to the finals. Obviously, they were younger versus the Cavs and LeBron. But what if they would have stayed together and they would have had a chance to kind of grow up together? Could that have been the dynasty that people were talking about?
Well, if you had, let's say you had Golden State's 3 without Durant, but you had Durant, Westbrook, and Harden. That's your super team in Oklahoma City,
I'm rolling,
right?
Yeah, I'm rolling with OKC.
You like OKC better than you would Golden State, right?
OKC was up 3-1
but they had him
without Harden.
They had him. But imagine if they beat him. Does Durant stay in Oklahoma City?
Yes.
I don't think he stays in Oklahoma City, but he's certainly not going to Golden State.
I think he stays because he wins, and if you win one there in that small market, I just don't see you know, how you can go. Like Reg, you were there 17 years in Indiana?
18 years.
18 years in Indiana. I think they would have seen the other side to it, that, hey, we did win one here. We can have our career separately in the summers, live other places. But I think he would have stayed.
It was a blessing in disguise to lose if you're Golden State.
For Golden State.
Oh, yeah.
It was a blessing in disguise because you got Kevin Durant.
We were also talking about this prior to the show, and we go back to the Fab Five, that maybe you guys built the first super team.
Yeah.
Because Juwan Howard was, I think, the first guy in at Michigan, and then he recruited you guys. So he's building a super team full of freshmen. And I don't know if we've ever had that before with a super team.
Yeah, that's a great point, because we were friends, but I almost went to Duke because Grant Hill, you know, it was a lot of, at that time, your friends being the ones saying, hey, man, we can do this. Forget about coach.
Oh, my God. You almost went to Duke?
Oh, yeah. Duke,
How close
Michigan.
was it?
Whoa!
I mean, if you ask Coach Ken Tom Izzo, I mean,
Whoa.
some things happened, but I really almost went to Duke. Michigan was 30 minutes away from the front door to the dorm. And
Well, what happened?
Juwan, you know, I'm the oldest of 5. My parents, you know, staying home with family, you're the oldest, you want to, you know, be there. I love Michigan, you know, and so, but it was funny because Juwan, funny story, I met Juwan at Nike camp. Oh, God, this is a funny story. He had Big Nuke shaved in his head. And I remember I was the youngest kid in camp. You know, I'm nervous. And I remember being like, who is this old-ass guy over here? And I remember thinking, like, he has to be a senior. He looks the exact same. Goatee, maybe a little gray. And I just remember him being cool. And, you know, he was the one saying, I think Illinois was on probation that year. Or he was definitely, he's a Chicago guy.
Yeah.
And he was like, listen, man, Michigan sucks. Last year they only won like 12 games. They're terrible. We don't have a lot of, he's like, we don't have people. He's like, man, you know what? If we all go, we might be able to start. And we were like, man, you get some playing time too, you know? So, no, he was a big reason to that. Along with, I grew up with Jalen. I knew him in Detroit the whole time. And then I kind of got close with Ray as well last. So, yeah.
Okay, so how close? Was it going to be Duke and then Michigan State?
No, it was going to be Michigan State first.
Okay.
I thought I was going to Michigan State from growing up, my whole life being a Magic.
Right now, you are
Izzo
just
fan.
killing people in Michigan right now.
But no, I chose Michigan. It's like saying that.
Michigan State.
It's like saying
wow.
that. Yeah, but I made the best choice.
Tom Izzo told us 2 years ago he's still bothered by that he
Well,
lost you.
You know,
Wow.
I consider Tom a very close friend. And it's from all those years of getting to know each other. You know, I saw him under Coach Heathcote. I saw the program he was building. I saw his intensity. And I got to know him on a level before he was a head coach that I'll always respect. So he and his wife, I love him. But, yeah, almost went there.
You could have done Izzo. You could have done Coach K.
Well, see, Grant Hill, too. So I knew him Grant Hill since
Whoa.
I was like 11. And he and I were very close.
Could you have gotten along with Leitner?
First of all, Duke was, and it's funny, I think I saw that. First of all, I saw
No,
this Duke
Chris.
documentary. Duke was by far my best visit. You know where they took me? They took me like to the black college, like down the street, North Carolina, A&T or something.
See, we have black people here. Yeah.
No, but I went there. But I went to this HBCU, and I go with Christian Laettner like on a Monday. Like, first of all, they don't. No conditioning. First of all, this is how you recruit people. No conditioning. They just played their way in. That's all the players say. Like, man, we don't have conditioning. We have good practices, no conditioning. You know, that's when we were running on the track and everything. And he's like, look, we have all these universities around. And it was the best parties ever that Grant Hill and I give Leitner more credit. He showed me a great time.
But you got along with Leitner.
Yeah, I mean, if it was on the court, we didn't like it, you know, but I'm really good at, you know, keeping it on the court or not, and, you know, so.
Separating.
Yeah, but he's, I mean, in my opinion, Christian Laettner is, you know, in my generation, he's the best college player to ever lace him up. Yeah. Period.
No, he came
He's
through in
top
big games.
three.
Yeah, I mean, when there was
would be
big
top
game,
three.
big moment, he came up big.
Yeah, and he was consistent those 4 years, and he really changed the game as far as where he was shooting threes and having the ball in the post and passing. The things that Coach K did for him to allow his game to flourish really helped big fellas like myself.
And he had swag.
And he didn't care. That's what I love about him.
Swag.
Chris Laettner didn't care.
He had
man.
swag.
Okay, so Jim Harbaugh calls you and says he wants you to go. Tell me how this happens, that Jim Harbaugh is inviting Chris Webber back to Michigan. When's the last time you've been back to Michigan?
Had a cousin's graduation, and it was up there. It was a while ago. I talked to Coach Harbaugh a couple times every season.
Were you uncomfortable at the graduation?
I'm uncomfortable in large settings when we're celebrating family members because I don't want my presence to show up with their.
But being on campus didn't make you uncomfortable.
No.
Okay.
No.
But you hadn't been back basketball wise.
No.
Have you been invited back basketball?
Yeah, but so let's go back from the beginning. So like 10 years after the NBA, I'd never gone back. You know, like after I called the timeout and everything, Dan, I was on a mission to try to right every wrong. You know, you want to win a championship, you want to play. So it never was a thing, oh, I'm not going back. It was like, I got business to do. And when I come back holding this trophy, I got you. You know, that type of thing. And didn't get a trophy, thanks to Shaq and a couple of his zebra stripe referee friends in there.
Absolutely.
He's breaking it down.
Yeah, so that was a little bit tough. So no, I hadn't been back, and then just all the controversy and things, and really, Dan, with the controversy, it's like you need time to sit down and talk about it. I never wanted to do like a 5-minute interview, take the snippet from that, and let that define it when there's so much to talk about. So with that, I never really felt any type of way, truthfully. So the last few years, when Coach Harbaugh got the job, if you remember, Coach Harbaugh wanted the job at Michigan before, and he went to Stanford. And we had a little bit of kindred spirit time then, because we both known Bo Schembechler, we both have had intimate conversations with him, we both know Michigan man. He wanted to be there, took down all his jerseys and all this stuff, and they brought him back, called him to congratulate him. Every year I'm a big fan. Hey, Coach, how we doing this year? So he's asking me 3 years, maybe in a row, to come back. And I said, Coach, I don't think this is the right time. Coach, I don't think this is the right time. I love the university. I'll be back. I don't think this is the right time. So the other day, we were doing charity Michigan from the Heart, and it's a charity, Reg, that we did at Michigan where they take the athletes and you go to the children's hospitals and you work with the kids. And it really changed, my life at the time. We had this kid, Randy, and other kids that maybe weren't supposed to be with us for a little while, and we made them part of the team, and just, the inspiration they gave us. And so we were on this show talking about all the good times with Jamie Morris, ex-football player, and I was doing Jamie a favor and wanted to help for the charity. I hadn't spoken in a while, and Coach Harbaugh knew I was on there, and he called in again and asked, and I give him a lot of credit for it because it could have gone bad on the radio, and I thank him for asking me, and I definitely want to show up, and I want to have some fun.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
Do you know what game yet?
I don't, but I think I do. But you got to pick the best game.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. And it's only a couple
State?
We play Ohio State at Ohio State. Michigan State out of Michigan State. So it's a couple. No, it's Penn State. It's a couple games.
Is Notre Dame?
No, we don't have any of those games. But some of those games I'm going to travel and go to. I have a friend that played at Ohio State, so we go to games, sneak into games all the time. And so I think it may be the Penn State game, but I'm not sure. But I'll tell you this, Dan, I pulled out my varsity jacket. My father,
That's awesome.
My father has everything. He steals your trophies and stuff. You don't know where it's at in the dirty years. He's like, you need that? I got it for you. So
you still have your Michigan varsity jacket?
Oh, I still got my Michigan varsity jacket. Let me tell you, I don't know why I'm doing this, but it's always like story time with Uncle Dan.
He brings it up.
You know what I mean? But a really good story is, I may have said this before.
How about we take a break?
Okay. Here we go.
Yeah.
More with Chris Webber and Reggie Miller. The movie is Uncle Drew. Premiere tonight. We're not walking the red carpet, by the way, Reg.
Just show up.
Yeah, we will.
Okay.
I mean, that's all I did when I played. I just showed up.
You really think y'all name's going to be a will call?
They are.
You're not going to be there,
Personally.
baby. You're like, who?
It doesn't matter.
You're going to be there.
I'm going to go.
I'm sitting next to you.
But I'm not doing red carpet. Because then it'll be awkward where we'll walk and then they'll want to talk to you and then I
told you I had to stay. Someone was going to say something to you. Maybe to you. I don't know about.
See, Webb? Oh, the Danettes. Oh, yeah. Yeah, Fritzy.
I just got a note from PR saying the will call actually means they will call us if there's extra tickets. They may have already run out of tickets.
All right, we'll be back. More with Chris Webber and Reggie Miller right after this. 15 after the hour, Dan Patrick Show.
On the all-new Double Dare, the trivia is tough. The challenges are rough, and the giant nose is stuffed. And you can't miss a single sloppy second of it. Hosts Leza Koshy and Double Dare legend Mark Summers are bringing you the messiest game show on TV. The messiest game show on TV. Don't miss the all-new Double Dare weeknights at 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central, only on Nickelodeon. Once again, do not miss the all-new Double Dare. That's weeknights at 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central. You can find it only on Nickelodeon.
Here are some useful tips you might not be aware of. coffee filter and a little bit of olive oil can clean the interior of your car. Removing excess weight from your car will improve gas mileage, duh. And you could place your key fob to your chin to increase its range. Weird, right? But here's another tip you might not know about. TrueCar also helps people get used cars. That's right. TrueCar isn't just for new cars. It is for new cars. But with their certified dealer network and nationwide inventory of 1 million used cars, you'll enjoy real pricing on actual inventory and a simpler buying experience whether you need a new or used car. And with TrueCar, users can see what others paid so they know what they're getting and if they're getting a good deal before buying. Look, see, you know me, I'm always looking at cars. I found a 91 Land Cruiser, legit, Alabama, checked it out, VIN number, all the information, felt safe, good job. TrueCar, good for used cars as well. They're more likely to enjoy a faster buying experience by connecting with TrueCar certified dealers. When you're ready to buy a new or used car, check out TrueCar and enjoy a more confident buying experience. New, used, whatever you need. Go to TrueCar. Some features not available in all states.
Kind enough to have Reggie Miller and Chris Webber here in the Man Cave, and the movie coming up tonight, Uncle Drew, the world premiere.
Uncle Drew.
Now, Chris, you used to live next to in the neighborhood with Reg in Malibu?
Yeah, I was a Malibu resident, but Reggie wouldn't let me come over his house or nothing like that.
Did you ever go to Reggie's house?
I used to drive by it and like look over the gate and be like,
Wow.
man, this is beautiful. Must be nice.
Well, who's got a nicer house? Kevin Garnett?
Kevin
or
Garnett.
KG's house is nice.
He's got long money.
I live in either one of the garages, so both of them.
Kevin Garnett has a palatial estate.
So the number of black people in Malibu, as you
It's
said,
gone
is
down
now...
since he left.
But I'm coming back, Reg. I'll be back there. We're going to increase.
See,
I'll
he's
be there
coming
next
back.
summer, baby. Next summer.
Wait,
The
so
quota's moving up. 3 black people in Malibu now.
So it's you, KG. That's it.
And we're holding it down. Halle Berry made an
Whoa.
appearance one
Oh,
summer.
she did?
One summer. She rented down in Point Dunes for a little bit.
Oh, okay. Just a drive-by. She wasn't there for a long haul.
No,
Okay.
We don't consider drive-bys residents.
Okay. Do you remember the story you were going to tell?
I do
Chris?
not.
Oh, my God. Do you guys remember what we were talking about that C. Webb goes, I got a great story, and then I said, hold off, and then...
What was the story? Does anyone know what we were talking about?
There was a Juwan
during the
Howard
break?
story. There was a Duke story.
Juwan Howard.
You told that.
Duke story.
Another good story will come up. I'm my bad.
Okay.
I don't
All right.
remember.
So we were talking about Chris is going back to Michigan. Jim Harbaugh reached out to him. How are you with teammates? Is that important at all with the Fab Five, relationship-wise?
Very honestly, Dan, so much is made because other people talk and I haven't talked. And I think that could be good or bad depending on how you look at it. So I have to take responsibility, I guess, for whatever people think. But I talk to Juwan like every freaking other day. First of all, his ears are like Reggie, so he can hear me right now. Wherever he is, he can hear me. So it's not like, no, but Ray and Juwan I talk to often. I haven't talked to Jalen in a while, a long time. And that's about it. But, you could not be cool
I would love
with...
to be a fly on the wall on that conversation.
You could not be cool with one person and still be cool with four other
right.
guys. It's like, you could not like somebody and still be cool with the Danettes. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So this whole thing of, oh, he doesn't know, he can't come back. He's so hurt about the time where he's crushed and mentally he can't be with all five of us. Like, I don't, it is what it is. I'm very happy that, and very honored that
out of the
Coach
five,
Harbaugh,
who was saying that?
Who would say that?
Who was saying that?
I thought we only started we worked together, really. No, I'm just saying, honestly, you're here on TV.
Because we keep talking, and I keep seeing them on the screen right here, so I'm just assuming.
You know what? It's like this. I never wanted to make a private beef personal for the world.
Right.
But because I've been trolled, like I think no human in the history of sports has been trolled by, someone that you consider your friend, it's tough.
Right.
But that doesn't mean I'm not cool with everybody else. Like you can't take all power and ownership and say, he doesn't speak to me, or he's not cool, I'll get him back to the university. So it's never been like that. The guys are my boys, and when you're brothers, you're going to get into it and you'll get back together.
But what happens, though, is we make more out of it,
Right.
and then we read into it. And what happens is we want an answer. We want to have a moment where, like Bob Knight going back to Indiana. I said to him, Coach, don't make this about the administration here. Make it about the people and give them something. Go back for them.
Yeah.
Whereas, it's difficult if you guys have a reunion with the Fab Five. You can do it. Do it for the fans.
Yeah.
and wear that varsity jacket. And if you and Jalen don't get along, okay, you can still survive and do something that's really, I think, rewarding for those fans as well. Like, they should remember great things about the Fab Five.
Absolutely.
And Dan, I want them to, and it will happen, but it had to be natural, and it had to be really on my time. It had to be something where you can have a conversation, and I think we're going to have that conversation coming up because I've addressed all these issues. But I think it's something that you have to have a conversation, not people trying to grandstand. For instance, remember the first Final Four that Michigan had, or a few years ago when they played in Atlanta? And everybody was saying, well, Chris went up to his suite. He couldn't. Well, on paper, I still was banned from the school. So I go upstairs because you still can't supposedly sit with the team and do those things.
You weren't allowed to be around the team.
Well, it still was that ban. I think that was actually the last year or something like that. So within that, you can't go to the game and be. So let me take full credit for every time a fire was put up, a fire was made. I didn't come out and say, "Hey, wait a minute, it's not like that." That's not my personality, and that hurts a lot because the fans do need to see that. But I think that we're going to have some great conversations, and hopefully the fans that go to Michigan, that love Michigan, especially ones as much as I do, will enjoy it when we come back together.
Because there's a lot
that's what we want.
You guys sweated as brothers, a lot of tears together. And I think that's what, especially old school and old heads like me, being older than you and playing with Jalen, I know how much he loves you and I know how much you love him. But you're right. Part of the media's job sometimes is to kind of stir it up because we like.
I would love to see you guys walk out mid-court and wear the baggy shorts. And just
you can't wear the shorts. Our legs are so scrawny. I'm with you to the shorts. They were athletes.
All right. How about baggy pants?
Yeah.
Well, you can wear your warm-ups. But just to have you guys go out
and
go out to midcourt and huddle up.
Dan, there's nothing I would want more than that, and I think that I think we're on the right path for that. But I think it has to be conversation. I think it has to be
organically too,
and organically. And that's the thing. Like, very honestly, a lot of people were pushing it for money because the doc was out. A lot of people was pushing it for, And my thing is, you have to be sincere, address, and then move forward because all the other stuff is always going to be there. And to do it for anything else, if we start that way, we're going to end up right back where we are. And so, Dan, you're right. For the fans, I want to do it for myself, for my family, for Hoopers. So hopefully it's something I think we're working towards it.
And you also look at the impact the Fab Five had, though. Now, I don't know if you guys played with a chip on your shoulder. Like, it always felt like it was you guys against the rest of the world.
Yes.
But why was it you guys against the rest of the world? Or that feeling that you guys had?
Wow. So I've been in this kind of really reflective moment over the last 6-7 years. I've been writing a book, doing a doc, and you have to go through some tough things mentally to figure it out. And when you say that, it's because of our mentality and where we came from. Jawan, he was where he was born and where he lived. No human should live there in Chicago. He came from one of the worst areas ever. His grandmother that supported him passed away the day he signed. So as kids, we were seeing all these signs, you know what I mean? Crying with him on the phone in high school because he lost his grandmother. Knowing where guys had come from, knowing their different paths. And it was something that was so unique, something that was so sincere at the moment, that we just loved each other. Our whole thing was, at the time, we didn't have a TV in our dorm. It wasn't that type of party. So at that time, I remember we were like, we're playing on TV for our moms, or Bill Walton called us thugs because we shaved our heads bald. And we were like, you go through like, why would you say that about me? My mom's watching. Then you go, you know what? Screw you. Oh, dude, you can't even play anyway. If I play right now, I dunk on you. So we felt like no one loved us.
Preach! That's why he's preacher in the movie. This is it.
The hate mail that Coach Fisher would get, about, first of all, forget race. Well, first of all, we're 5 black guys, so add race. Now forget race. When I look back at some of our antics during the game, just as a 45-year-old guy, now I cringe sometimes. Like, what the heck was y'all thinking about? So along with that, and then other people that are just like, what the heck are you guys doing? So it made us come closer. And our walk-on, Freddie Hunter, our freshman year, Freddie Hunter, who was a walk-on, was our captain. And we loved it. He had a job in the first half of the year, and we rallied behind him. It was just something, man, coming from Detroit, where we were from, coming from Chicago, we felt like we were putting the city on our back.
Where did that scowl come from you? When you were running down and you just look.
Yeah, because you got
that was.
Reg, I don't know who I am on the court, Reg. You know how it is. Like, people always expect off the court you to. On the court, that's where I just was allowed to have that, man. And that was all sincere, yeah. And I try to do it now. My nephew's like, you saw. What's that fake look, Uncle Chris, you know.
But did you learn that scowl when you got to Michigan?
No, maybe my father. That's probably my father. Before he whipped me or before he told me to do something, that's probably, I'll give him the credit for that. That's probably where I got that look. But it was so much fun. It was. You remember that time, guys, when you were yourself, the last time you were like a kid, you were stupid, but you had enough love in your head to want to take on the world and help people. It was the perfect storm, and we were around great people, great coaches that really helped us. So I don't know where all of it came from, Dan, but it was not fake. It was sincere.
I wanted to ask you guys if you were recruiting LeBron James. So let's say, like, what would be your pitch right now of trying to get LeBron James to play? Let's say Reg, you're the Lakers, and C-Web, you're going to be Cavaliers.
Okay.
Is that okay?
Yeah, I like that. I like the cast.
If I'm Magic Johnson, I obviously would call him, Maverick, and his Rich Paul in, and I would have all the championship trophies, miniature ones, on the table, and I would recruit some of the guys I played with, James Worthy, Kareem, Kobe, and say, we're all about winning. There's a culture here.
Do you want Kobe in there?
No, let him finish. Don't help the pitch, because I got the pitch next. Come on, Dan.
Yes.
See, this is why you can't recruit. Too many people get involved in the recruiting process.
I do want Kobe because Kobe has played against
now
LeBron.
He's addressing this. This is unfair.
Kobe has played against LeBron.
Okay, all right. I'm just throwing it out there. My job's to ask the question. That's all.
Yes.
Okay.
I do want Kobe at the table.
All right. So Kobayashi's in there.
Kobayashi's in there. I have my miniature trophies.
Okay.
I was like, what you want here? Tell me what players you want, and I will go get. You got it, because you've got to feed his ego. Who do you want to play with? And I'm going to do my damnedest to bring him in. And Kobe's going to help me, right, Kobe? Yeah, that's all I want him to say.
Can I get to my pitch?
All right, here we go. Here's the Cavaliers GM, Chris Webber.
So we heard you had a nice meeting. You gonna go play for Kobe? Oh, Kobe's your coach now? You know, every time. You know, every time.
Wait, you can't interrupt.
Okay, you're right.
I mean, well, you know, if Magic's your coach, why they bring Kobe in? Kobe's always going to be over you.
Wow.
I mean, you could score 40 points in 10 games in a row, and you know what they're going to say? You're the last person to do this since Kobe Bryant.
Can I be like that?
Not only that, you can go there and it not be your team. If you don't make the playoffs, just how we are in the media, and I'm including myself, it's the worst thing ever. If you guys lose to Denver, who you could lose to in the playoffs, what makes you think you can come here? You've started something, a legacy. Don't fall for these guys that just go and play with the winners or their buddies. You've done something here no one else has done. You give thousands of scholarships.
And no one is going to do it again in Cleveland.
And that's what they said about you last year, LeBron.
And he did everything.
And they doubt you. And we're all in, LeBron.
15 years.
We're all in.
We revamped
But
the
if you
team.
want to go play for Kobe, wait, can you wear a number? Wait, can you even wear your number there? Didn't they retire your number?
Not 23.
No, 24.
Oh, and 8.
And 8.
So yeah, and you know what? We will not guarantee to retire your number, and we can't do that. And if we do, we have to trade you.
That would be part of my pitch if I'm Magic. Your number is going up game 1.
Okay. Yeah, if you do that,
Good.
I can't like that. Your number is going up. That's good.
Game
That's
1.
Wow.
Oh, and by the way, if I'm Magic, here's that letter that Dan Gilbert wrote about you that he took down on that website about you, just so you know how they really, like Ice Cube would say, this is how they really feel about you, okay?
Yeah.
All right, that's
the best thing you said in your recruitment.
Here's that letter.
By the way, it was your letter jacket that you had a story about. Do you remember your Letterman jacket?
My letter. Oh, I got the story. I think I said this.
Okay. Here we go.
Now I've lost like the energy. I was not that good. But I was talking about Grant Hill and how I had this Letterman jacket. So my father told me that I had the jersey. So after we played Duke in the championship, because I was going to go there, they beat us. First championship, Leitner and those guys. Grant takes off his jersey, his whole uniform, shoes, and gives it to my little brother. And next to my varsity jacket, I have Grant Hill's whole, because I stole it from my brother. I'm like, you don't get that. That's my boy. And I'm like, yeah, I got this whole jersey. It's a little anticlimactic, but yeah, that's how cool it was.
So Grant gave your brother his gear.
His whole Duke uniform when they won the championship against us. Yeah.
And Leitner gave his to you, which I thought was interesting. Right?
He gave, no.
See what I said? And you talking about me wanting to do this?
Leitner gave us the business. He didn't give us the business, but no, he didn't give me
I like how C. Webb goes, wait a minute, what?
Yeah, I'm like, wait, did I say that?
All right, the movie tonight, the premiere. It'll be Reggie, C. Webb, Kyrie, Shaq, Nate Robinson. Nate can still play, right?
Oh, did you see him in the 3-on-3?
Didn't you see him go off in the big three?
He hit the game-winning shot, and then he stole somebody's Chucky mask and tried to start a fight.
McCann.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, no.
Yeah.
Nate is still...
He's trying to get back in. And
he's
he
an
should
awesome
be back.
athlete.
He should be back in the league.
Yeah.
You think he can still play?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he can.
He could
Look
be in
at
a
some of
dunk
the guards
contest
that are
today.
on at the end of the benches on some of these teams. Yeah, Nate should be in the league.
Oh, yeah.
Why aren't you in the Hall of Fame?
Thank you.
I would love to be. I don't know. And
thank you.
When you don't have control of that, that's something I said I'm going to have to, give up,
Thank you.
thoughts of a while ago.
Really?
Yeah.
Why isn't he in the Hall of Fame, Reg?
I think politics. I think a lot of things that we've talked about today in the
But it's
history of
the
Michigan.
Basketball Hall of Fame. It's not the NBA.
Right.
It's everything you did. Internationally, it's what you did in college, So that's...
Well, just like we just seen with Jim Harbaugh, time heals all wounds. The invitation's been on the table for so many years for him to come back, and now he's accepted. I think people now are starting to settle in. This is not only a great basketball player, but a great talent and good person.
But I hope that the Michigan situation is not why you're not in the Hall of Fame. Because that doesn't seem fair to you as a basketball player.
Yeah.
Right?
They changed the culture of college basketball.
I know. We know their impact. I'm just curious why you're not in the Hall of Fame. And, I actually thought you were. I forgot. And then I went, wait, C. Webb's not in the Hall of Fame. Yeah.
But you know what? It has made appreciation for, because the first thing you want to do, human nature, very honestly, is to look at people in the Hall of Fame and compare yourselves to them. And through this whole exercise of just being humble is, it's an honor to be in there. And if you're not, just wait your turn and keep it moving. But I'm lucky and I'm blessed, though. Let me say this, that I get to work with these guys, because I hear that
you're a better man than me.
Miss the locker room. And I get the locker room every day with jerks like Reggie stirring the pot.
But if you get into the Hall of Fame, you could be in there with Bill Walton, that old man that you would dunk on.
Oh, yeah. Oh, well, yeah.
Yeah. Bill was a pretty good player.
He's like, these guys are so thugs. They're thugs.
Wait, that's your Bill Walton?
Yeah. Have you had a conversation with him since? Have you had a conversation with him since? Probably not, right?
I'm sure I haven't. It's probably been light because it was 25 years ago.
Does he even remember that he called you?
I'm sure he doesn't.
Yeah.
And now I know that his shtick,
yeah.
I don't take it as personal. It's like a lot of forgiveness, a lot of water under the bridge. But I do know that inspired me to go in and play against some of the best. When you have him talking about it, I just wish I would have had Google in to go back and know God's career and be able to speak, with some knowledge.
The movie tonight, the premiere, and it'll be released nationally on Friday night. It's Uncle Drew. By the way, just do me a favor tonight. There's one favor. That's it. Act like you know the Danettes when you see them.
I was saying, get you in.
C. Webb.
Your entourage. I got the entourage.
Just act like it. I know you will, Reg. But C. Webb, he's been known.
Take a good look at him. Take a good look. So
I know the guys. Maybe
take a good look.
We're back after this on the Dan Patrick Show.
I'm going to let you in on a little secret, all right? And I don't know, maybe it's not a secret. You probably already know this and you just ignore it. But the truth is, most of us are brushing our teeth wrong for not long enough and forget to change your brush out on time. I mean, how often do you really change your toothbrush? You wait for it to get all bent and curly, and then if you happen to remember when you're out at the supermarket or, the convenience store, you're like, oh, yeah, that's right, I need a new toothbrush. That's why you have to get Quip. Quip is an electric toothbrush. It's a fraction of the cost of bulkier toothbrushes while still packing just the right amount of vibrations to help clean your teeth. Quip has a built-in timer that helps you clean your teeth for the recommended 2 minutes. It gives you these little pulses. It reminds you when to switch sides. And Quip is subscription-based, and they have subscription plans that are for your health and not just convenience. They deliver new brush heads every 3 months for just $5, including free shipping worldwide. And right now, we've got an awesome deal for you. Quip starts at just $25, and if you go to getquip.com/Dan right now, you'll get your first refill pack free with the Quip electric toothbrush. That's your first refill pack for free at getquip.com/Dan. That's getquip.com/Dan. getquip.com/Dan.
Here at Podcast One, we love hearing from you. We read every tweet and comment you send our way, so don't miss your chance to take our summer listener survey. Just go to podcastone.com and click on the survey banner, or go to podcastone.com/mysurvey. It only takes a few minutes, and it gives you the opportunity to make a direct impact on your favorite shows. Tell us how you really feel, so we can get to know you better. We value your thoughts and participation, so check out the survey at podcastone.com/mysurvey, or click on the survey banner on podcastone.com.
Stay tuned for 60 seconds of AP News headlines right after this podcast.
Oh, my God.
The play.
Oh, my God.
Of the day.
Runner left side, got it.
We're going to play it and play it. This is the play of the day. Check this out.
Swinging a fly ball out to right field. That's hit deep at the wall. Gritchick, he leaps in. He made the catch. Gritchick pulled it back. A game-tying home run into the glove of Randall Gritchick. Randall Gritchick doing it all tonight. A mammoth home run and a tremendous defensive catch that gets Sun-Wan-Oh raising his glove out at his right fielder.
Randall Gritchick. It's a great story. Put on a show in front of hundreds of family and friends. They traveled 30 miles up the road from his hometown, Rosenberg, Texas. And his greatest claim to fame thus far is he was taken one pick ahead of Mike Trout in the 2009 baseball draft. He was also taken by the Angels. The song I Will Steal You Back, Jimmy Eats World. Is it Jimmy Eats World or Jimmy Eat World?
Eat.
Jimmy Eat, not plural eats, right?
Yeah, great band.
Courtesy of the Blue Jays Radio Network. Didn't we meet one of the band members?
Yeah, Zach, the drummer, when we were in Phoenix.
Yeah, I went out at the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
I went out and had beers with him.
Yeah, he's awesome.
Yeah.
Good dude.
Jimmy Eat World. Yes, Paul.
Is there anybody in Jimmy Eat World named Jimmy? Because I have a problem with bands who have a name, but no one in the band has that name. Like Steely Dan, no one's named Dan.
I think the story for the band name is that one of the band members' younger brother drew a picture, and it was of the older brother, with the world, and it said Jimmy Eat World on it. I think. I could be making that up, too. I might have just completely invented that, but I think that's the story of the band name.
Play of the day brought to you by Traeger, red, white, and barbecue. That's what 4th of July is all about. Celebrate this year with a brand new Traeger grill. Grab a grill in time for the 4th at a dealer near you. Go to TraegerGrills.com/dealers or ship one right to your doorstep by ordering on the Traeger website. By the way, our good friends at RockAuto.com, all the parts your car or truck will ever need, and the parts are delivered right to your home or your office. If you thought that they were only dealer only or no longer available, think again. RockAuto.com, a lot of the parts that you thought maybe weren't available or affordable, and that's what they've done. They give you direct access to all the parts information hidden in the computers and catalogs, and also reliably low prices. Can't go wrong here. Cut out the middleman. Go right to rockauto.com, and they'll get those parts for you and ship them right to your door. So you don't waste time and money hunting for parts, phoning, driving, waiting in line. Go to rockauto.com today, and make sure you tell them that we sent you. Write Dan Patrick in the How Did You Hear About Us box so they know we sent you. All the parts your car or truck will ever need, the great folks at rockauto.com. That was a lot of fun with Reg and C. Webb. And, Chris Webber is he's a complex guy, interesting guy. And I do believe that what happened with the Fab Five is keeping him out of the Basketball Hall of Fame. It certainly feels that is the hurdle here, the roadblock here. I don't know if going back to Michigan is going to help that, but it's a start. But I don't know who the voters are or how they view Chris Webber and his college career. The fact that, they took down the banners, what they did, what they accomplished, Chris's role in all of this, his relationship or lack thereof with Jalen Rose. So it's complicated because their impact in basketball, we had not seen anything like that. You have 5 freshmen and they go in and they take a team that wasn't very good the previous year and you go and you're going to play for a national championship. And they did it with style, swag, as you would say now. It was something we had not seen before. But what he did in the NBA, and Chris played, I don't know how many times he was an all-star, but Paulie, how many times C. Webb an all-star?
6 times.
Okay. It feels like it's Hall of Fame worthy. So if you go to the Final Four 2 times, so you're 18, 19 years of age, you go back-to-back Final Fours, it feel like what you accomplished there. And it encompasses everything you do with college, international, and the NBA. So I would think C. Webb would be worthy of that. Yeah, Paul.
I think you hit it on the head, something you said a minute ago. It's the Basketball Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
The story of basketball includes the Fab Five, and he was the face of the Fab Five. It's not the Hall of really good stats. It's a Hall of Fame. And the Fab Five are as famous as any college basketball team of all time.
We didn't even have a poll question today, did we?
No, we did.
McLovin? Oh, we did.
Basically, a topic that we've been talking about all day. If you had kept James Harden, Kevin Durant, and Russell Westbrook together, would that be the dynasty in the NBA? 53% say yes, that would be a current dynasty. So it's almost 50-50. A lot of people think it would work.
And what C. Webb said is having Harden there made it felt like Durant and Westbrook could play together because Harden would not be as ball dominant, and he would be able to share it a little bit more. Because it feels like imagine those three now. It doesn't seem like those three would want to play together now. Yes,
and it's interesting too because Reggie and C. Webb were sort of implying that they wanted to stay together, which I always thought that James Harden wanted to be traded to sort of like be his own man, and like be, well, I don't want to be the sixth man. I want to be my own guy. And they sort of implied that wasn't the case, that those three wanted to play together. Now, what a huge mistake that is if that's
I'd have to look back on that scenario. I also found it fascinating that they're on the movie set of Uncle Drew. They have their phones with them. Now, when you're on the set and you're getting ready to shoot something, you're not allowed to have your phone with you. You're not supposed to have your phone with you if you're in the scene. So they got it on vibrate. So here's Reg and C. Webb, and all of a sudden it's like, and then they look and they see this alert that Kyrie's been traded. Meanwhile, Kyrie is sitting right there without his phone because he's ready to shoot the scene in Uncle Drew. And they go, dude, have you seen this? You got traded. Hold on here. Let's cut. I'm going to go out and I'll be back. And then he came back and said, yep, it's real. Got traded. All right, so that's the poll question. Phone number 877-3DP Show. Email address dp@danpatrick.com. Chris in Iowa joins us this morning. Hi, Chris.
Hey, how you doing?
Good.
I don't claim Iowa. I'm from Nebraska. But anyway, I wish I could have asked this when you had Reggie Miller on. What do you guys Simmons winning the Rookie of the Year and not making a three during the regular season or the playoffs?
Oh, you know what? He still was great. Not everybody has to shoot a three. It's impressive what he did without being able to shoot a three. But thanks for the phone call, Chris from Nebraska. Ben Simmons is your Rookie of the Year. Whether you like it or not, he's your Rookie of the Year. But if I'm Donovan Mitchell, I would have fun and say, I want to be called Roy because I'm the Rookie of the Year. I'm Roy Mitchell. I'm not Donovan. I'm Roy. Or Donovan Roy Mitchell. I changed my name. I saw this, too. The Rockets became just the fifth NBA team to win 65 or more regular season games, have the league MVP, and not win the NBA title. And the other players who went through the same formulas, at least 65 wins, MVP, and not win a title. Dave Cowens with the Celtics in 72. Dirk Nowitzki with the Mavs in 06. LeBron James in 08-09. Steph Curry with the Warriors. And James Harden this year.
Stat of the day, stat of the day, stat of the day, stat of the day. Here comes that what? Stat of the day.
Stat of the day brought to you by Continental Tire, proud supporter of the Dan Patrick Show. For more information, go to ContinentalTire.com. By the way, players winning the MVP and also sixth man awards in their career. Now, I do know this because I'm a big fan of the other guy. James Harden did it, and Bill Walton. Bill Walton, sixth man of the year with the Boston Celtics. He won the MVP for Portland back in 1977-78. C. Webb was funny with Bill Walton when Walton called those guys thugs. He's like, hey, old man, I'd like to dunk on you.
Hey everyone, it's Scott Braun and Kelly Nash from MLB Network here with our new show, Baseball and Chill, exclusively on Podcast One Sportsnet.
Kick back with us each week as we cover all of the action on and off the diamond with player interviews and in-depth storyline analysis of what's happening in Major League Baseball.
Relax with us every Tuesday on Baseball and Chill right here on Podcast One. Download and subscribe to new episodes exclusively on Apple Podcasts, PodcastOne.com, and the Podcast One app. Also, rate us, leave us feedback. We'd love to hear from you.
Yeah, we would.